what qualifications do you have?
My first degree was at University of St Andrews, my second degree was at Somerville College, Oxford.
Despite having 2 degrees in advanced mathematics, Louisa can't get a job. She has a form of autism called Aspergers Syndrome, which means her brain is wired slightly differently from most.
I studied maths to a master degree level, so there's quite a lot of advanced mathematical concepts like partial differential equations, even chaos theory.
Like many people on the autism spectrum, Louisa has a gift for understanding numbers. But the way her brain works means she struggles to understand other people.
I do find science and mathematics easier to read than people. It's almost as if life's like a game where I don't know the rules, and everyone else got issued with some kind of rule book at birth and I didn't.
She's been searching for a job for 5 years and is desperate to find an employer who can see past her awkwardness.
Would you like a copy of my CV?
Yes.
Louisa struggles to interpret body language and facial expressions. She therefore finds it difficult to adapt her behaviour to what people expect of her, and can, without meaning to, come across as rude.
Hello there, nice to see you.
Oh no, I don't mind.
Have you found it interesting so far?
Yes.
Since leaving school, Louisa has had 3 permanent jobs, but each one has ended in dismissal.
The first job I had, it was a year after I left university, and they dismissed me after 5 weeks with the reason saying I didn't fit in. They seemed to ring true. I felt that's pretty much how I felt most of my life, not fitting in.
Until she gets a job, Louisa is stuck at home living with her parents, who can't understand why, at 40, she's still in this position.
When I was in the civil service, people simply were not sacked unless they'd done something dreadful, like putting their fingers in the tills or coming in drunk every Monday morning.
Hello?
Hello, it's sad news, I'm afraid.
In the past year, Louisa has applied for 130 jobs, but with her lack of social skills, she's never got past the interview stage. Despite the knockbacks, she's not giving up.
I've got a job interview this afternoon. I'm excited, maybe a bit nervous. I definitely think I deserve a break.
The job is for a computing role at an environmental organisation. And before her face-to-face interview, Louisa will have to complete a technical test.
I think I can do well the technical test, so I can use that to my advantage, and I happen to be the best out of the competition.
One thing to note, if you find you're struggling on part 1 and you think, okay, there's no more I can do, you can save what you have and then start part 2.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
As a graduate of advanced mathematics, this simple Excel test should be easy for Louisa. But it's common for people with Aspergers Syndrome to focus on order and to feel compelled to complete one task before starting the next. Within minutes, Louisa is stuck on a question.
That's the end of the test, Louisa.
Because she couldn't move on to the next question, Louisa failed the test.
So embarrassing, it's such a basic thing that I managed to get past the second question out, and then there were 12 questions on it, and I just got stuck because I was desperately trying over and over again to get this form as evaluated, and it wouldn't, and I don't understand why. I was even so bold to think that I might win it, swing it on the technical test alone. I mean, God, how naive I was. The longer it goes on, the harder it's going to be to ever get back in. I do find it frustrating. I mean, I left university 16 years ago. Why am I stuck in some kind of strange graduate limbo?
To try and turn her job hunt around, Louisa is meeting Nancy Doyle, an occupational psychologist specialising in helping people with autism find the right career.
Up until now, we've always assumed that a neurodiverse condition like autism is a disability, and actually more and more people are starting to realise that there are advantages to alternative ways of thinking that can bring real brilliance into the workplace.
To find out where Louisa's strengths lie, Nancy is using a series of tests, including one for working memory, which is the part of the brain that holds and processes information.
If I say the numbers one way, you say them in the reverse order.
Right.
So just to practice, if I said 7-1, you would say
1-7.
absolutely. Okay. 4-7-5.
5-7-4.
7-4-8-1-5-4-6-3.
3-6-4-5-1-8-4-7.
Wow. I don't very often see people able to do that. Quite impressed. I mean, that's outstanding. The numbers just kept coming in the right order. And I was tick, 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 tick on the form and thinking, how is she even doing that?
Louisa's excellent working memory means she would be well suited to a job that involves processing large volumes of information.
Anybody else taking that test, 99% of people would get a lower score than her.
So these are the normal averages. This is where most people score, and your score, you're actually off the charts.
What this is telling me is that you are incredibly competent at retaining information.
Any of the jobs that you have had so far, you ought to be brilliant at. And if you haven't been brilliant at them, it's to do with the communication around what the task should involve, where the focus and priorities should be.
People don't get fired from stable public sector jobs unless they've really screwed up.
She's over-analysing, and that came through in the way that she communicates. If you think about what it must be like to have all that available information to process at any one time, it can be quite paralysing. She's traumatised about the workplace, she's traumatised about her own ability.
I think if she believes it could be different this time, then that's going to make a huge difference to the way she puts herself across.
Tomorrow, Louisa has a job interview for an analyst role at a major energy firm.
If I got this job, well, finally move out, live independently, and hopefully never have to go through this ever again. But that's not something that's going to happen in a day, clearly not.
Taking on Nancy's advice, Louisa is seeing a specialist who helps people with autism through the recruitment process.
If I'm the interviewer tomorrow and I ask you to describe to me your previous experience, where would you take that? How would you answer that?
I did find the move quite an upheaval, and so many things went wrong or took longer.
It can be particularly hard for Louisa to sell herself in interview.
Before, but I rang
Her condition means she has a tendency to be brutally honest and can overload people with information.
the morning off to wake the engine in, then they rang and said no, it'll be another 3 weeks.
It's probably best to keep answers as concise and coherent as possible. I don't think they want to hear a lot of the dirty details. I think they just want to know on a kind of overview level why it was you moved from one place to the other. She does have a very strong profile, so she has a good interview tomorrow. I just don't see any reason why she wouldn't get an offer from them and be able to start with them very soon.
I'm feeling a bit excited, but also quite a bit nervous because it's a great opportunity, but potentially there's a lot at stake.
Goodwill. Thanks, Mum. I'm sure it will be fine.
Bye-bye.
She's had so many disappointments which we share. I just hope that this time this will be the one where she gets accepted.
Louisa's going for an analyst role at National Grid head office. This would perfectly suit her proven ability to process large volumes of information. But after 5 years of failed interviews, she's hoping she can finally make a good first impression.
Stick to answering his questions as briefly, concisely, coherently as possible, and just maintain as positive an attitude as you can.
If you look back over your career, can you give me an example of one really important thing that you learned in your previous employment?
It's hard to say one particular incident, but I suppose in general learned how important it is to ask questions, not be afraid to ask questions. You've given a task and you want to understand what's required.
Mm-hmm. So why would you like to work at National Grid?
It's progressive, socially responsible, and a great boost to my confidence, and a chance to feel part of a team, part of a community again. I managed to stay positive, so that was good, definitely. But I mustn't get carried away because I haven't been offered anything yet. Hello, Louisa speaking.
Oh, hi, it's Julian from National Grid. I just wanted to give you a quick call today, just to say thank you very much for coming in. I'm pleased to say that we wanted to offer you that data role, get you into the organisation.
Oh, that's really great. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations, Louisa. I look forward to speaking to you later.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
I'm really happy. Well, I finally got something to look forward to. That's going to do so much for my confidence. This is a start of something new, something great.